Alright, what's up YouTube? So today we're gonna do a 5-minute review of Kanye West's new album, Donda. So I usually don't do album reviews, but I think this one was pretty deserving of it. It was a very unique album, and I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So I haven't really been paying attention to him musically over the past few years, but this album really stood out, especially with the whole album rollout. You know, he was doing the shows, editing the album as he was previewing tracks during the live events, making the album in football stadiums. It was a pretty interesting rollout, and I think it lived up to the hype for the most part. It's a very unique album, and it touches very close to his personal life. He dedicated the album to his mom, and a lot of the subject matter was about God, his mom, his marriage, and the album, to put it in a simple way, the album will take you on a journey that you didn't even know you wanted to go on. It's almost 2 hours. It's not like an album, it's more like an experience. And it was an experience that I needed. So I really enjoyed it. And the whole 27 songs, it'll take you on an adventure. It started off very unique with the intro track, but songs like Gel, God Breathed, Off the Grid, Hurricane, Junior, Believe What I Say, it started off very interesting, had a lot of great features, you know, 5 Year Foreign, The Weeknd, Lil Baby, they all did their thing on the album. Jay-Z had a good verse. And some people, they complain about some tracks are kind of like filler, but I don't really believe that these tracks are filler. I think the purpose of the filler tracks is mainly to like set up the atmosphere of the album. And I think it did a good job. So they're kind of like interludes or skits for this album, and like I appreciate those type of songs on the album. And the production on it was very good. The production really fit the theme of the album, and it's basically like a double album. It's kind of like a 2-part album and all that. And I was very impressed with the first part of the album, but the second part was pretty good too. The second part had some of the most impactful songs in my opinion. So I was really a big fan of the song 24 with the Sunday Service Choir. It's kind of like a gospel song. Like, yeah, it's basically a gospel song. It's kind of like, the whole album's kind of like gospel trap. Like, he made a new genre, and I liked it. It was new, fresh, unique. And like the Sunday Service, they did their thing on that album. Like Moon with Don Toliver and Kid Cudi, that was a pretty good song too. And another standout song was Pure Souls with Roddy Ricch. Like he killed it, you know. And also near the end of the album, the songs like No Child Left Behind and Come to Life were pretty heartfelt songs, and it seemed like he put a lot into these songs. Like No Child Left Behind doesn't even have that many lyrics, but it just has a very powerful vibe to the song, and I appreciated it. Like the first time I heard that song was in the Nike commercial with Sha'Carri Richardson. I was like, you know, this new Kanye album, he might be onto something with this. You know, he might be onto something, and he was. And also, I really like Come to Life because the topic of the song was about like setting your goals and pursuing your goals and achieving goals, and that's something that I can really relate to. And the album ended off with a lot of part 2 songs. So made a part 2 to Okay Okay, part 2 to Gel, part 2 to Junior, part 2 to Jesus Lord, and they were pretty good. Like Jay Electronica did great on Jesus Lord, and and Jail Part 2, the baby killed it. Like, this album is pretty good. It's one of the most unique albums that I've heard in a while, and I would highly recommend it. Like, I already saw the Come to Life video, but I'm excited for new videos that will come from this album. Like, Kanye West is back. To sum it up in a short way, Yeezy's back. Remember that. Like and subscribe.